Welcome back. He has just an amazing story. In pursuit of the American dream, Tony Meduri traveled to the United States from Italy at the age of 9. While in high school, before graduation, he tragically broke his neck and was told that he was never going to walk again. But he proved the doctors wrong.
That's right. And after months of rehabilitation, Tony not only walked again, there we go, he went on to graduate from the police force, had a family, 2 daughters, and cared for his mother who lived alone.
Yeah, but that unfortunately it was until tragedy struck again. On his way to a car show, Tony was hit by a drunk driver and suffered a traumatic brain injury, forcing him into a coma for weeks and requiring him to get around-the-care clock for the rest of his life. His family found refuge in a traumatic brain injury facility near his home, which is where Tony resides today. And his story has inspired, by you saw those pictures, so many people to make a difference to help those suffering from traumatic brain injuries. And we are joined now by our next guests who are making a huge difference, trying to help others. Joining us now is Anne-Marie Tucker. She's the president and founder of the Tony Meduri TBI Fund. And Ryan Troutman is president of the Second Chance Stories. We'll get to you in a second. But first, Anne-Marie, it's good to see you.
Hi, thanks.
We see Tony's story kind of play out. It's an amazing story, everything that he's had to deal with. And now that story is being really put on display for so many people to see, to try to make a difference for others.
Yes. I mean, and he continues to, I didn't mention this, but to face hardship and to show his strength. He's actually been in the hospital. I would have had him here today because we constantly fight with keeping with the care, because with traumatic brain injury there is not a lot of long-term care insurance. There is no insurance that covers this type of care for long-term, unless you have long-term insurance. And so we care for him on our own actually now. But it's very difficult, it's very expensive, it's very costly, it's hard on, being a caregiver, which I am myself. And the girls, I've had 3 girls that have been with him for several years now. It's just hard because when you deal with somebody that has no short-term memory, which my father has, we're every 30 minutes reminding him of what's going on, where he is, what he's doing. He still thinks he's a police officer. So, depending on the severity of those that have a traumatic brain injury, some, unlike, Ryan is able to, looks like us, walks, is back out in the community. My father was not that person. My father was not able to go back in the community. And actually, I found that a lot of resources were limited for those that can't go back out into the community, where someone like my father that couldn't do any of those things. And we pushed rehab, and we worked very closely with Brooks, but there were no improvements for somebody like my dad. But somebody like Ryan, and that's why I wanted to have him here today, is to show that there are people that can rehabilitate and get better with traumatic brain injury, but not everybody can. And my dad is one of those stories.
And that's what's important about this run, raising this money to help people like you, Ryan, your story and your involvement with this.
So, my accident happened in 2007, and after I regained my conscious, I said, I asked myself the question, what now? And I've dedicated the rest of my entire life to helping others living with a traumatic brain injury, and being a part of things like Tony's Turkey Trot is another way for me to give back to the community that saved my life.
That's awesome.
And we met at Brooks Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Right, which is a daycare. Yeah. Well, it's a daycare for brain injury survivors, and that's who I donated over $6,000 to last year.
Very cool.
And so we help, and my goal is to people that cannot afford to go, I want to make sure they have money to go. And I've been doing that for several years and will continue to, because I found that with my dad, there was no money. There was no money to give if there's nowhere to go. And they provide lunch, they do different activities, and Ryan is a prime example because he worked very closely with Brooks. So that's why they're one of my biggest people that I like to give our money to, because I know where it's going and I see an actual improvement.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk about the race coming up in the minute that we have or so remaining, because it's so important. The funds that you generate from that race go to help projects such as this, which is great.
And we're so excited because our numbers we're doubling our numbers. We've got the 5K run walk and at 8 o'clock, and then at 9:30 the fun run, which I've had people call, actually a TBI survivor that wants to do it, a mother that wants to push her grandmother, children, all ages. We're going to have local food vendors, music, bounce house, face painting. So I'm trying to make it very much a community event in the morning. Burn some calories first, then you can go stuff your face with turkey.
And it's an easy place to find because it's right
by
by
beach.
Pete's.
We're in we're at Atlantic Beach, and so it's a great neighborhood. We're going to run through the beautiful neighborhood, go by the country club, come back, easy course.
And you can get your Bloody Marys and mimosas at Pete's and
afterwards. So it's a good way to
around.
burn the calories. And pets are welcome, leashed pets. We've got pet bandanas that are also going to the TBI fund, and turkey hats and strollers are welcome. So moms with their babies that want to come out, you know, we're open to all ages and anybody that wants to come. And
it's going to be a good time.
Yes.
And Tony the turkey is going to be there as well.
And we have our mascot
Tony, get in
this
here
year.
as we finish out here. Appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you so much for
being
having
here.
us.
Ryan, thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah, thank you.
We want to thank Tony Maduri, TBI Fund Inc. for making this segment possible. For more information on Tony's story or to register for Tony's Turkey Trot, you can head to their website, which is tonysturkeytrot.com. Remember, the event is at 8 o'clock on Thanksgiving morning.